Hey everybody, and welcome back to another One of Everything Wednesdays. I am your host, MrBevers. That's right, we're back again with Skyfox Games. It seems like so long ago that I bought these packs from these guys at Magic Fest Toronto, but here we are. So, they are located in Oshawa, I believe. Is that correct? Yes, Oshawa, Ontario. I always have to check the card again because I never remember, because my memory is a terrible, terrible thing. Memory like a steel trap that's rusted closed, maybe. Or rusted open, I don't know. That way it doesn't trap anything at all. Anyway, the point is we've got a bunch of packs here. We're going to do 10 packs this week, so we're going to be doing Fifth Dawn, Darksteel, Mirrodin, Corset, I want to say 9th edition. So that's what, 4? Scourge, Legions, Onslaught, Judgment, Torment, and Odyssey. I believe that puts us to 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So those are the packs we're going to be opening this week, which means we are left with these fancy packs for next week and the final episode of Skyfox Games. So, of course, we've got Apocalypse, 7th edition, Plane Shift, Invasion, Prophecy, Nemesis, Exodus, Stronghold, Tempest, Alliances, 4th edition, and Fallen Empires. Rick's favorite. Right, Rick? I know Rick's out there. I know he'll vouch for me. Alright, so without further ado, let's open up Fifth Dawn first. Right? So, Fifth Dawn. What are we looking for? Engineered explosives? There's actually some pretty spicy stuff in this pack, isn't there? Sort of looks that way. Is there any commons or uncommons of note from Fifth Dawn? That's the question. So Lantern of Insight is an uncommon. Knight's Whisper is an uncommon. Serum Visions is a common. Oh, Steel Shaper's Gift. Crack Clan Ironworks is still $8? Didn't it get banned? Still $8. Alright. Okay. Blasting Station is a $6 uncommon. Eternal Witness is in this set. Wow, okay, I forgot about that. Grafted War Gear. Okay. Alright, so there's some uncommons of note, but there doesn't seem to be any commons other than Serum Visions. So we'll just kind of... Okay, speaking of Serum Visions, there you go, I guess. So we'll put that to the side here. Now, of course, I'll make sure that I go through all these cards individually offline and just make sure that anything that should be added to the patron pile do get added to the patron pile. But, you know, for the sake of expediting this process, we won't look at too many things individually. Ensouled Scimitar. Loxodon Stalwart. Paradise Mantle, $2 uncommon. There you go, see? And our rare? Acquire. Didn't I see Acquire on this list? Yeah, $2 rare. Not like super high end or anything, and there's definitely some other rares we could have opened that are worth quite a bit more. But Acquire's still pretty sweet. Acquire's definitely a sweet card. Alright, Darksteel is next. What are we going to find in Darksteel, right? I don't know what Darksteel has, if anything. Oh, we've got the swords and Ether. Oh, Ether Vial uncommon. That's what we're looking for, right? Ether Vial uncommon. My goodness. But we've got the swords, which are, you know, up there. Sword of Fire and Ice, like $50. Arcbound Ravager, $41. Like, some good stuff. Mycosynth Lattice, which we know has gone up in price quite a bit. Oh, we've got Skull Clamp in here as an uncommon as well. Oh, Echoing Decay is a common worth $2. Okay. Looks like most of them are rares that are worth things from this set. We've got Spawning Pit as an uncommon, and whatever this is. What is this? Core Tapper. Core Tapper is worth $2. And those are uncommons. We've got Geth's Grimoire, which is $2. And then, of course, Skull Clamp, which is $6. And then Aether Vial, which is like a ridiculous amount of money. So, no commons of note other than Echoing Decay. So, we will make sure that we pull it out if we see it. Oh, look, an Echoing Decay. Sweet. Got there. Wow, Whisper Silk Cloak. What a cool card that is. I love that card. I'm gonna pull it out to the side because it's such a good card. Hover Guard Observer. Sure Strike Trident. Come on, one-time Ether Vial. That's not an Ether Vial. Karstoderm. Karstoderm. What a weird name. What a weird name. What do we get for the rare? Synod Artificer. You're not one of the top-end rares. You're not a sword. You're not an Arcbound Ravager. How dare you? No, it's okay. I mean, that pack wasn't too bad for us. We hit an Echoing Decay at least, and a Whisper Silk Cloak, which I'm gonna pull out to the side anyway because that's just what I'm gonna do. And then we're gonna go look up Mirrodin next because Mirrodin is the next one. I don't know what else is in here. Okay, we got Chalice of the Void. We got Mox, Chrome Mox. We've got Mesmeric Orb, Extraplanar Lens, Tooth and Nail. Lots of good hits here, actually, from this set. And that's just the stuff over, you know, like the $20 range. I don't even know if there's commons and uncommons. So it looks like all the talismans, the uncommon talismans are sitting in like the $2 range. Not all of them. So this is look like the white and black one and the green and red one. Is that what this is? Is that the green and red? No, black and red. Black and red and white and black. Okay. So those two talismans are sitting at $2. Oh yeah, the lands, the basic lands too, that are artifacts. Welding Jar is a basic, or is a common that's worth a couple bucks. Lightning Greaves and Isochron Scepter are uncommons over $8. So lots of cool stuff that we could see here. The common that we have to keep an eye out for though is like the basic lands. It looks like, and it looks like they only have the plains here. I don't know why that is, but maybe it's because of the meta. I don't know. So let's see. Okay, well there it is. So that is a $3 plains right there, and there's the island. So I mean, I'm gonna pull the island out just because it's also an artifact land. I don't know why it wouldn't be similar to the plains, but I guess it's, you know, something that I wouldn't necessarily know about since I don't play the older formats. Oh man, look at that Icy Manipulator. Look at that bad boy. Sweet. Shrapnel Blast. And Roar of the Ka. And our rare, Lightning Coils. I don't think I saw that in here anywhere. No, doesn't look like it. No Lightning Coils on the list, so unfortunately the rares kind of hit or miss here, but we did hit some of the commons and uncommons, so there is that. Core set, and I believe, oh, is this 8th edition? This is 8th edition. We did 9th edition already. Okay, so let's take a look at 8th edition. We want to deselect everything and then no, stop that. Stop that. 8th edition, we could see Ensnaring Bridge. That's a big hit from the rare slot. Also, I think like the foils from 8th edition are pretty high end because they've got black borders. So there is that. Are there any commons and uncommons? Oh, the Urza's lands are in here. I forgot about that. Okay, so the Urza lands are uncommons, worth note. We got Spellbook as an uncommon. And then we've got Choke and... holy moly. Merchant Scroll. Okay. So it just looks like uncommons. So it doesn't look like there's any commons of Super Note here. So we'll just kind of go through them. And like, again, white border cards here, everybody, because it's what they did with the editions, I think, starting around, what, 6th edition? 5th edition? Somewhere in there. They were like, the core sets will be white bordered. I think they did it because they wanted to tell them apart from like the older sets, essentially, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if there was like an actual reasoning why they changed it to white borders. Maybe there is, and I should probably read up and figure it out. Elite Javelineer, Wall of Air, and Elfheim Palace. It's just an uncommon tap land. And of course a forest. There you go, there's our rare, right? Comes after the uncommons. Oh, I guess I should I guess I should show off the actual rare. Rolling Stones, like the band, right? I don't think Rolling Stones was on this list anywhere. I didn't see it. So we missed out on 8th edition, unfortunately, it looks like, because we didn't hit like Phyrexian Arena or Lord of the Undead. Blood Moon was in 8th edition? I had no idea. Look at that. Alright, so we're going on to Scourge now. Scourge! The Scourge of the Seven Seas. And Scourge was one of those sets that's like, it was super tribal, so there wasn't a whole heck of a lot in these sets that was ended up being worth a lot. But there are like some commons and uncommons that are of interest. So of course you've got Flaying Tendrils, or I should say Tendrils of Agony. You've got the Dragon Speaker Shaman. You've got the Edgewalker. These are all uncommons of note. You've got Grip of Chaos and Decree of Annihilation. You've got Long-Term Plans. You've got Panem's Aura. You've got Undead Warchief. So these are all uncommons of note. So like these commons, none of these commons are really interesting from an aspect of value-wise. But the thing about them is that like the art is really cool from this set. I really enjoyed playing in this. This has nostalgia for me because I played a lot during the Scourge block. I had an infinite combo with this guy, with Lightning Greaves, and this guy, and then you play like 2 of these, and you play Lightning Greaves, and you just move them back and forth, and then you like sack one to like give you infinite life, or you do like a flip of their power and toughness, and then sack it and eat them. You know, because you have the Cleric land that lets you sack it for you pay a white and tap it and sack a Cleric, gain life equal to its toughness. Tap a black, tap it, sack a Cleric. Opponent loses life equal to its power. So you could like flip their power and toughness. So it was a lot of interesting things that you could be done with the Cleric deck. And of course, I mean, like there's just, it's all like tribal, right? So you've got Clerics, you've got Wizards, you've got Goblins, you've got Elves, you've got Zombies. And then I think Slivers were in, not really, like Slivers weren't really in this set per se, but there is the Sliver Overlord that was printed in this set. So a lot of cool stuff from this set. Just not really worth a whole heck of a lot. So now we're into the uncommons, which is where most of these cards of note are, or value, I should say. So Arc of Blight is not one of them, and neither is Rain of Blades. And neither is Dragonstalker. So we missed it on all the uncommons, unfortunately, but still, like, I mean, look at that art. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. And our rare is a Dawn Elemental. This was a fun card back in the day. It's a 3/3 flyer that prevents all damage that would be dealt to it. So like back in the day when me and my buddies were playing, like we're all just playing casually, right? And we were in high school. So for us it was like none of us really had like the top end, like I have everything that just does spot removal and stuff. So like if people had removal, it was generally like burn. Like I burn your creature for 4 and it dies or whatever. So like this creature was awesome because it could just sit there on the table and not die to things. So anyway, Legions is next. Legions. So again, another set that like was it was part of like the tribal block. So this is where the slivers are. The slivers are in here. And of course zombies again and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't look like there's any commons of note out of here. So again, just some uncommons, not really any commons. But so you've got goblins and beasts and wizards again, right? And you've got soldiers. You get your little bird soldier man. Clerics are still in here too. Oh, you got your Timberwatch elf. Yeah. So like this was just part of that like block that was very tribal. So we've got a Branch Snap Lorien as our first uncommon, and a Stoic Champion as our second uncommon, and then a Blade Sliver as our last uncommon. And so that means I think we missed it on all the uncommons as well. And our rare, Beacon of Destiny. Beacon of Destiny. I mean Beacon of Destiny. So a 1 and a white, and it's a 1/3 cleric that says you can tap it, and the next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, that damage is dealt to Beacon of Destiny instead. So like a crappier version of Spellkite, right? Or Spellkite. Onslaught is next, so let's do this. Onslaught. Ah, yes, Onslaught. The original Fetchlands. What do you think? What do you think the chances of us finding a Fetchland in here is? I think it's pretty slim, but I'm ready. I'm ready to see. And I don't think there's any commons of note from here. Let's just double check. There is a lot more stuff in Onslaught that is worth money, apparently. But most of it is rares, it looks like. So let's just do this, and let's change the options here to not scale these images so that it's easier for me to read them. We've got the Wirewood Lodge is an uncommon, worth note. Dwarven Blast Miner. What else we got? Chain of Vapor. Soulless one. That seems about it. Everything else looks like it's a rare, so doesn't look like there's any commons of note here. So we'll just kind of scroll through these a little quickly here. Ah, good old Well-Wisher. Lonely Sandbar. Okay, first uncommon. Sunfire Bomb. No. Shakeskin Bruiser. Goblin Burrows. So we wanted this to be the Wirewood Lodge. Because that's the one that's actually worth money. I don't know if this is. I don't think it is. I think the reason the Wirewood Lodge one is worth money is because it lets you untap an elf, right? Whereas this one is just one goblin gets +2/+0, and then that's it. There's no recursion, right? So, and then our rare is an Entrails Feaster, which I don't think I saw on this list anywhere. So many rares and things that we could have seen that would have been more interesting than this, but not this one. But it's just a 1/1 zombie cat, good old zombie cat, for 1. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may remove a creature card in a graveyard from the game. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on Entrails Feaster. If you don't, tap it. So you have to do it, otherwise you lose the ability to use it to block or attack. So that's kind of interesting. We're on to Judgment now. Let's see what Judgment has for us. I think Judgment, again, is one of those sets where it's like, there's not a whole heck of a lot that's worth value, but it does have some stuff. So it looks like there's a lot of uncommons, it looks like. Cabal Therapy, Filth, Anger. Yeah, that's a rare. We got, I think that's a rare too, isn't it? No, Planar Chaos. Planar Chaos is an uncommon as well, I guess. It looks like it should be a rare, but I guess it's an uncommon. We've got Battle Screech, which is an uncommon worth like $5. And then just a bunch of rares that are in like the $5 to $10 range. So again, no commons, unfortunately, but that's okay. You kind of hit like a weird situation in this block because like it was very fun to play at the time, in my opinion. Like I had a lot of fun playing in these sets at the time because it was very tribal, so you could build some really cool like tribal decks, which was a lot of fun for like casual people like myself. But you ended up with like sets that didn't have a lot of stuff going on for them outside of their own block. So we've got a Brawn. Brawn seeing lots of reprints. Again, Wonder as well. So like these are the cards that the graveyard matters for them, right? So like they've got the little tombstone here because they have like essentially like a flashback type effect, but they're not a this isn't flashback. It's if it's in your graveyard and you control an island, your creatures you control have flying. And Brawn is the same idea, only you have to have a forest and it be in your graveyard and they get trample. So same kind of idea. Serene Sunset and Spelljack. Well, that's a $4 rare right there, and this is actually one of my favorite cards from this set. I played this card in one of my decks back in the day, and my opponents always hated it. So it's counter target spell. If it's countered this way, remove it from the game instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. As long as it remains removed from the game, you may play it as though it were in your hand without paying its mana cost. If it has X in its mana cost, X is 0. So I always enjoyed stealing my opponent's spells. In fact, one of my buddies used to play like a green overrun deck, and so I would take his overrun. when he would cast it. And then I'd be like, it's mine now. Now I get to cast Overrun whenever I want. And that was never fun for my opponent, but always fun for me. So Torment is next. Let's see what Torment has to offer. We've got an uncommon worth $40. An uncommon worth $40. And then a bunch of other rares that are worth, you know, somewhere between $2 to $10. And we do have one common of note, though. It looks like we have a Cabal Ritual, which is a common of note. Yeah. So we have one common of note, which is Cabal Ritual. So let's see if we can find it, I guess. Putrid Imp. Kamal's Sledge. Unhinge. That guy looks unhinged, let me tell you. Obsessive Search. Okay, so no Cabal Ritual, but we do have uncommons that we could find here. Of course, Cabal Coffers being the top end one, right? There it is. That's a $40 uncommon right there, according to this. Now, it might not be $40 anymore, but like, holy moly, it's $40. That's crazy. That's a $40 uncommon. That is so crazy. There you go, everybody. We got some crazy hit. And Tainted Field, is that something I saw in here? There are a couple of the Tainted Lands that are worth like $3. I don't know if Tainted Field doesn't show up on the list. The Tainted Isle, which is black-blue, and the Tainted Peak, which is black-red, show up on the list here as $3 a piece. I don't think this is worth anything, but we'll double-check it. And then we got a Nantuko Shade, which is just your little 2-1 for 2 black that you can pay a black and it gets +1/+1. I can't believe we hit the Cabal Coffers. That's awesome. I'm super stoked about that. Wow. That's awesome. Man, crazy, crazy stuff. All right, Odyssey. Odyssey is last but not least for this week. Let's see what Odyssey has. I'm so glad that we hit something of like super note out of these packs, because there's been so many things that we could have hit like out of the Mirrodin sets that were well over like the $5 to $10 range, and we just didn't get anything. So that's unfortunate, but like I'm so glad that we hit the Cabal Coffers. It's awesome. An uncommon of note. So Odyssey has some interesting stuff in it. It looks like there's only one common of note, which is Moment's Peace. That's all I'm seeing here. But then there is a bunch of uncommons as well. And then of course it has some weird lands as well. Like the I don't know how you call these lands, but they're like it's not like a filter land, but it's a land that like you pay 1 and it gives you 2. So it's like a doubling land. I don't know. Is that how you call them? I don't know what the name is for those. I never remember what the name is for any of these things. So anyway, let's look for Moment's Peace. That's the common of note. Angelic Wall. Such a good wall. I love that wall. A 0/4 flying wall for 2 mana seems so good to me. Oh, look, it's Peak. Is Peak on the list? What's Peak going for? I know Peak sees play in some formats. It's only 40 cents, but I mean, it's still a cool card. Look at your target player's hand, draw a card, right? Like, it's not anything super crazy, but it lets you kind of like know what's going on from your opponent. Oh my goodness, it's we've been bamboozled again. We've been bamboozled, everybody. Good old Bamboozle. Nimble Mongoose. We all know this card. It got a reprint, right? I don't think that it sees anything. Yeah, it doesn't show up on this list anywhere here, but that's okay. And then we've got a Darkwater Egg. Pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it, add 2, like a blue and a black to your mana pool, and draw a card. Interesting. And our rare is a Cabal Shrine, which I honestly have no idea if this is on this list anywhere. I don't think I saw it. Let's see. Nope, it doesn't look like it. Entomb is the top hit out of this set, it looks like. So, Cabal Shrine is a 3 mana enchantment, 1 and a black that says, whenever a player plays a spell, that player discards X cards from his or her hand, where X is the number of cards in all graveyards with the same name as that spell. So it really punishes your opponent for playing multiple copies of things. So that's interesting. So there you go. Holy moly, this has been a long video. I apologize, everyone. I was kind of like looking up prices and things as we went, which I don't normally like doing because it makes the video longer, but I wanted to do it this time just because there were a lot of sets here that I just didn't remember the prices and things of. So like I would have missed things like the Cabal coffers I would have missed probably, and same with like the Echoing Decay and the Ancient Den and the Seat of Snod, right? So anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this series. Again, this was a one of everything from Skyfox Games. We have 10 packs left that we will be doing next week, and that will be the end of this store, and then I'll have to find another store to open packs from, won't I? Yes, I will. Maybe I already have it lined up. You have no idea, do you? I know, but you don't. Anyway, we'll get there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and as always, may your pulls ever be better.